Transmission received. O5 Council ID detected. Playing log now.
SCP-1561. Kingly item, His Majesty's SCP-1561. Royal Object Class, Glorious. Regal Containment Decree. His Majesty's SCP-1561 is currently being worn by King Data the Expunged within the Kingdom of Sight Redacted and is to be guarded by at least 10 knights at all times. As His Majesty's SCP-1561 poses a memetic hazard, all information regarding the Royal Crown is limited to Level 4 aristocrats and above. Testing His Majesty's crown is henceforth forbidden. This was the law of the Heretic Council before the days of Data the Redacted. See Royal Decree 1561-1. Description: His Majesty's SCP-1561 is a glorious golden crown wrought by the finest smith and crafted with the most expensive jewels in the land. The object's sorcery is caused when His Majesty's crown is spoken, worn or inscribed about. When bestowed upon the unworthy head of a common male peasant, commoners who art within viewing distance shall see the unworthy wearer as the highest authority that they hath ever met. These subjects are born anew when the king is crowned, and thusly take upon themselves new roles befitting of their previous stature. Guards become knights, scientists become royal scholars, and other commoners become peasants. Peasants under his rule shall also feel the rightly obligation to fashion a robe out of the finest material at hand, sometimes using their own filthy garments for the new righteous king to wear. The newly crowned king also develops a magnificent sense of ruling, which empowers him to build a royal army of knights and establish his kingdom. The unworthy wearer shall also grow a glorious beard and moustache to better befit his position. These effects wither away when the royal crown is willingly removed or when the unworthy subject dies. Men who have not directly witnessed the greatness of the royal crown can resist its resoluteness and art to be branded heretics, banished from the land, or otherwise executed at His Majesty's pleasure. Inscriptions and any speech that regard His Majesty's SCP-1561 also alter to befit the King's ascended status. Mere knowledge of His Majesty's SCP-1561 shall cause a compulsion to refer to the Royal Crown justly as His Majesty's SCP-1561. It is also worthy to note that indirect reference to His Majesty's SCP-1561 negates these effects. Council Decree 1561-1. During frivolous testing upon His Majesty's crown, an unworthy D-commoner placed His Majesty's SCP-1561 upon his head and subsequently ruled the Kingdom of Sight Redacted for 3 months before he was beheaded during the Great Revelation. So it was upon that day that the Great Council of O5 decreed that nary a frivolous test shall be undertaken, lest another misfortune fall upon us. Royal Decree 1561-1. As of last winter, on the day of first snow, a new king was crowned. All hail His Majesty King Data the Expunged, he who fights the shameful council of profligates, ruler of the Kingdom of Sight Redacted. Long live the King. Note, this isn't the official SCP report, but it's the best we can do at this point. All research data regarding His Majesty's SCP-1561 was deleted during Incident 1561-2, and this was provided with Document 1561-2. Until Incident 1561-2 is resolved, this will have to suffice. Dr. Buchaus.
Level 4, Authorization received. Access granted.
Incident 1561-1 on redacted-2-20 redacted. His Majesty's SCP-1561 was discovered missing from containment. Security tapes in the area from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. were found to be erased. When the guards assigned to the shifts in that area were questioned, they became violent and attempted to harm several personnel. All but one subject could be subdued without use of lethal force, but committed suicide immediately after he was interviewed. See Interview 1561-1. These personnel were assumed under the influence of His Majesty's SCP-1561. Effective immediately, Site Redacted is under lockdown until His Majesty's SCP-1561 is recovered. Update: the issue has been resolved and Site Redacted has resumed operations.
Note: who authorized this?
05-Redacted.
Interview 1561-1. Interviewed: Sergeant Stephen White. Interviewer: Private Johnny White. Forward: the following interview took place after Incident 1561-1. Sergeant White was captured. He refused to speak to any personnel and struggled against his restraints until his brother Private White was brought in an attempt to divulge information regarding His Majesty's SCP-1561. Begin log.
Steven, bro, it's me. Stop doing that. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Johnny,
Yeah, come on, bro. Snap out of it.
you don't know what a relief it is to speak to you, brother. I thought they would have killed you.
Who would have killed me? You're not making any sense.
The heretics, Johnny. They're everywhere. The king was right. The king is always right.
What heretics? What king? Snap out of it. Do you know where His Majesty's SCP-1561 is?
Where else, brother? Upon the head of the true king, I myself have witnessed its resolute glory. Soon, the whole of this wretched site shall witness its glory as well. You shall see his glory too, and you too shall believe.
What do you mean, Stephen? Where is the royal crown? Who is the true king?
You shall soon enough know the glory of King Data the Expunged.
Come on, Stephen. You don't believe all that crap. His Majesty's SCP-1561 is controlling you. Just tell me where the royal crown is and we can...
Pity.
What?
Pity that I won't be here to see the fall of the Heretic Council.
Private White looks directly at the camera before shouting,
Est tempus nunc, et peregrinus incipit, vivat rex.
End log.
Closing statement. Sergeant White became unresponsive to further questioning from Private White, who subsequently left. Security footage shows that Sergeant White managed to free himself from his restraints and ram his head against the wall several times, causing a fatal concussion. Translation of the phrases spoken at the end produced the lines, "The time is now, the crusade has begun, long live the king." The exact purpose of these lines is unknown at this time.
Level 5 authorization received. Access granted. Document 1561-1. The following was faxed to Dr. Redacted at Site 19.
Site Redacted is compromised. All personnel are under the influence of His Mages, His Majest, the Crown. Send help. I'm locked inside Central Control. Not a lot of time. Was able to put the site on lockdown from here. Skips are safe for now. The O5 lured person. Unintelligible. Boiler room. Unintelligible. King Data the Expunged. Unintelligible. Down there for months. Don't look direct. Unintelligible. Mirrors and video work. They know Unintelligible is outside. I can see through the monitor. I will destroy the console after I send the Unintelligible. Hurry. Dr. Redacted.
Incident 1561-2. Based on the information given in Document 1561-1, Site Redacted has been compromised. Most, if not all, personnel of Site Redacted are under the influence of His Majesty's SCP-1561, which is being used by an unknown person to aid in an insurgency against the O5 Council. Mobile Task Force ETA-10, aka See No Evil, was sent in to recover His Majesty's SCP-1561, but was unsuccessful and lost most of its members, who are currently being psychologically evaluated. Efforts are to be focused on containing Site Redacted and prevention of His Majesty's SCP-1561's influence from spreading. Any personnel coming out of Site Redacted are to be tranquilized and treated with Class C amnestics. Until further notice, personnel are not to approach, attempt to communicate with anyone within, or look directly at the site as it poses a memetic hazard. Update: 5 months after Site Redacted was deemed compromised, Document 1561-2 was found tied to a rabbit along with SCP Redacted and an SCP report regarding His Majesty's SCP-1561. Document 1561-2 is a proposed treaty between the O5 Council and the supposed Kingdom of Site Redacted written by the King himself. The presence of SCP Redacted and textual evidence seems to indicate that several SCP containments have been breached. The document was sent to Overseer Headquarters for verification.
Document 1561-2.
Greetings, Council. I do hope this letter reaches you in good health, and that you bear no ill will towards my kingdom or its people. I understand that you might harbor resentment towards me, but I find that of little consequence. I beseech you to try not to think me a tyrant, but as an ally in the fight against the greater enemy, our shared enemy. What I am proposing is a treaty between our factions. My kingdom of Site Redacted will continue in its original capacity, and I will agree to receive orders from the Council, and in exchange, you cease all attempts to invade my kingdom or harm its people. The details can be drawn at a later date, but these terms will be the foundation of our mutual partnership. As a symbol of my goodwill, I have fastened to this creature SCP Redacted, along with a document written by one of my scribes detailing the attributes of my most royal crown. Mind you, not all reports we produce will be written in this manner. It is just an effect my regalia has on my subjects. I shall send a draft of our treaty next winter, on the first full moon. Please do not try to fool me. I still have many objects of sorcery, and there are many a man who would gladly die for me, within and without the kingdom. The most glorious king, Data the Expunged, ruler of the kingdom of Site Redacted.
Doctor's note. As I am sure the O5 Council is aware, I am a supporter of the glorious King Data the Expunged. I believe that it would do good for the O5 Council to work with the ruler of the Kingdom of Site Redacted. I have submitted multiple proposals in the support of Site Redacted, but there has been no response. I do beg you to please reconsider his proposal and his request for assistance. We should not be leaving such a great kingdom on its own.